Welcome back, everyone, to another Cobra Kai Season 3 watch party. We're still looking at that picture Ralph Macchio put up on Instagram. Now, in the last video, we looked at the script for Episode 1, and we found the title, as well as some of the early characters, and discovered Tori's real mom. If you haven't seen that, click the card in the corner. I'll also link it at the end. Now for this video, we're going to go to the green one, the script for episode 2. The goal today is to see if we can figure out the title. Now if you've looked at it, you've seen there's not much to go on. The way the other script is sitting on top of it, about 60 to 80% of each letter is cut off. Now certainly this was intentional. He wanted to tease us about the episode without giving it away. But if you've been subscribed to this channel for a while, you should know I like a challenge. I'm up for it. And if you aren't subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button now. You don't want to miss these videos. So how are we going to get this title with most of the letters cut off? Well, first off, one thing we do know is width. We can see there's 3 words, and if we get the font and size right, we can count the number of letters in each. Now I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm doing so you can follow along and check my work, or come up with your own theories if you have another idea. So the font being used in this script is a proprietary font called Courier Final Draft. But don't worry, that's really just a marketing gimmick, as it's derivative of Courier New. See how it matches? Cobra Kai and episode 301. This is the font I was using in the last video, though I didn't mention it. So now we have to get the size right. This is hard because the script is at a distance and not really set up to easily match a font size. I experimented with different ones and I'm going with font size 7.85. I think that gets the letters to match size with what we see on the page. Again, feel free to follow along. So now that we have all that done, how are we going to do this? This is what I'm going to do. We're going to use common sense, the process of elimination, and technical matching. The result should give us a 3-word phrase that's a coherent and makes sense as a title. So let's get started. We're going to start with the middle section, and I will say up front, this is where we catch a huge break. If it wasn't for this particular section, we wouldn't be able to get any of it. So when we look at the middle part, there are 2 things that to me are absolutely immediately clear. The first is the first letter. The way those lines are moving in like that, that is an M, most certainly. The second is the 2 spaces after the word. It's double the space after the first word. So why the extra space? Clearly there's an unseen period there, and the second word is the abbreviation for Mr. or Miss. Now if we look at the second letter, I can't get that to work as an R. That to me has to be an S. So right off the top, we know the middle word is the abbreviation Miss, and it matches. How are you doing? Ready to keep going? Good, let's go on to word number 3. So we have the abbreviation Miss, so we know it has to be a name after this, right? So let's just plug in some names and see if we can find something that fits. Well, first off, let's try Nichols. And hey, that may work. You think? Let's try to match it. It looks pretty good, except I'm not in love with the H, the L, or even the I. They seem to be sticking out at the top compared to what we can see. Still, this is a strong possibility, especially considering the other video. We'll keep this in mind and check the other names. How about Schwarber? No, and obviously Mills Schwarber won't work either. Maybe LaRusso? Nope, it's not her. How about Robinson? No, not her either. Let's try a few other surnames just to check them off. Lawrence? No. Miyagi? No. Okay, we'll do Silver? No. Barnes? No. And Crease? No, no, no. Moskowitz? No, not that family. Okay, let's look out further. I didn't see that movie. Oh, what was her name? Pierce? Okay, no, Pierce doesn't work. Well then, how about Andrews? As in Jessica Andrews? Hey, it fits as it has the right amount of letters. That's good. But wait a second. Let's try for a technical match. Look at this A. That doesn't look right. And frankly, some of these other letters don't look like they're matching either. Plus, story-wise, while they say any character can show up, this feels like a really odd time for this character to come back. We're waiting for Allie and looking at Kumiko. I just don't feel like this is where Jessica Andrews makes a return and has her own episode, no less. She's close, but I'm rejecting her. It is possible this is a completely new character, but then for the same reason I rejected Jessica Andrews, this feels like an odd time to bring in a new character who is so important she gets an episode named after her. I just don't see that possibility. So where does that leave us? Well, maybe we have to think in a different direction. Is there something else this word could be? Something that is not a person's name but fits and makes sense in context? That's an interesting thought, but what could it be? Well, this is where I suggest the word perfect. As in Miss Perfect? It fits in the space and it makes sense. Now let's see if there's a technical match. It looks like yes, and I want to draw your attention to the P, the R, and the F. The P has the circle top that matches what we see. That is where the A and the Andrews failed. The P works. Now look at the R. It's ever so slightly darker on the left, then curves out to the right. It's slight, but it matches the curve on the R. Now the F is key. Notice here how it's darker than the spots in the other letters. That's because the camera snaps a pic of small lines far away. It starts blurring the pixels. If there's just a straight line, it appears faint. But if there were more than one line crossing, it would be darker. This is important because when we line the word up, this darker spot is precisely the cross section of the F. It's actually the F that gives me confidence this is the right word. So now we have the second and third words. Miss Perfect. So what is the first? Now with the first word, we run into a problem. If you look closely, you'll see the script is not sitting completely flat and straight on the table. There's a slight curve or bend to it, just because of how he has it laying there. If you compare the quotation marks, you see they're actually not straight across from each other. The first word is a few pixels below the other two, and this does make it much harder to decipher. I'm not sure we can say anything for sure, but I'll give it a shot. It does look like the first letter may have a little cross section at the top. So what can we make of that? Well, I was thinking of all sorts of words. Teaching, no. Ignored, no. None of these are really working. But now in this font, the capital L actually has a cross section. You don't normally think of a capital L with a cross at the top, but it does here. That means we can maybe use an L word. So then, how about little? As in Little Miss Perfect? That makes sense, but does it all match up? Let's see. And there. Little Miss Perfect. Does it seem like you're looking right through those pages? Does it look like a little perfect fit? I think so. As of now, I won't speculate on who Little Miss Perfect could be. I mean, it could be Amanda or Yasmin or even Allie. I'll let all of you do the speculating. And let me know, is this video the result of some crack research or just research done on crack? Comment below. If you have some workable alternate titles out there, I'll even do a follow-up video, so let me know. Otherwise, I'll address it more when I get to my Season 3 videos. And remember, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll be the first to know when those videos go live. So subscribe right now, and if you enjoy this, please give it a thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Hey, there's the video that reveals Tori's mom. Click that if you haven't seen it. Otherwise, there's a video about Okinawa. That's a pretty thumbnail, and you want to click that if you haven't seen it yet. Have a great day, and I hope to see you again very soon.
You know what you did, and now you're gonna pay for it. I'm coming for you, bitch!